Hello and welcome to Newegg TV. My name is Anthony and today we're taking a look at the Raidmax Aeolus ATX case. On the front of the box here shows us a basic picture of the case. Of course the Aeolus name, more than cool. On the side shows some basic specifications, but we'll go into that more when we have it open. On the back it shows more in-depth pictures of some of the stuff it lists on the side. So it's got some airflow diagrams, shows some, like the air filter tray at the bottom, toolless installation stuff. But we'll get into that more in a second. On the other side, we have more specifications. But let's go ahead and get this open and see what we have inside. All right, well, as you can see, just as with everything that Raidmax has been sending out, everything's packed up real nicely with this closed cell foam. So that way you don't have any damage in shipping. Now on the front of the case here, you'll see you have your power and reset buttons. You've got your 3 5¼ drive bay. Now Raidmax is doing something new here with their one-click bay covers. So all you do is you remove that just by pulling on that piece there. And then it just pops back into place if you need to cover it. Now right here, sitting behind this mesh, you have a 120mm fan. Now there is additional room behind this mesh for another 120mm fan. Now spinning around to the side, you have your window with a vent, which also has a spot for another 120mm fan. Now on the back, you have a 120mm fan, your I/O shield area, your 7 PCI expansion slots, and then the bottom mounted power supply. Now I don't know if you can see this too well here, but you have your removable filter for the power supply exhaust. On this side, pretty basic, although it is removable for access to the CPU backplate. Now up top is where it gets pretty interesting here, because you have a lot of attention to detail here. You have 2 pre-installed 120mm fans behind these grates, and then you have all of your ports. You have eSATA, you have 2 USB ports, and then your audio microphone in and headphone out. Now on the bottom, you can see that it's raised up about 1 inch to allow for ventilation because of this bottom mounted power supply. You'll also notice these thumb screws right here. These allow you to remove this second 3.5-inch bay just in case you need to install a larger power supply, and also to allow you to run cables, say back through this area here, for better cable management. Now inside, right off the bat, you'll notice you have this long space in here. They've done this so that way you have maximum airflow, and if you're installing a really long video card, you have all the space in the world for it. Here's of course your hardware, your speaker, your motherboard speaker, and all of your mounting hardware, plus all the pre-installed cabling for the top ports. Now for those front 5 1/4 drives, you have toolless mounting. Unscrew, that comes off. And then all you have to do is put it back in there. Easier said than done sometimes. There we go. Now down at the bottom, we have the 3.5-inch drive bays. There's 4 of them here. The design is pretty original though. They all have these toolless installation trays. So all you have to do is see these 2 holes, stick your thumb and your forefinger in there, squeeze them together, slide them out. Install your drive, slide it back into place, and you're good to go. Now, from this angle, you can also get a closer look at the fans here at the front. So you can see that you can install that second 120mm fan at the bottom here and cool these drive bays. So that'll come in handy, if you're ever into any serious gaming or have some fast spinning drives that produce a lot of heat. Looking at the back here, you have a little bit of an offset for a back plate right over here, CPU back plate. Coming up here more, you have some room for cable management set into place, and it also has these tie down areas so that way you can keep everything neat and tidy. Let's look up top so you can get a better view of those 120mm fans that are pre-installed right here. And then you can also see that's where all this wiring is running for those I/O ports at the top. Spinning it around to the back, you can see that rear 120 millimeter fan. You can see your PCI expansion slots. And then right over here, you have 2 grommets that you can use for water cooling. So that way they lead straight out to the back of the case. Well, that has been our unboxing of the Raidmax Aeolus ATX case. My name is Anthony, and thank you for watching Newegg TV. We'll see you next time.